Hello all, welcome to the Lunar Sea Spire Cartoon Fan Podcast. This is episode 335, and today we'll be talking about the Haunted Campfire from Summer Camp Island. I'm GC13.
And I'm David.
So, they finally did it, a scary stories around a campfire episode. I liked this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I had to stop halfway through just to take a shower, wipe away the sweat, get back in the zone, because I mean, wow, what a scary, terrifying episode this was.
Yeah, Toast Ghost might have been a little bit too much.
The great gag of this episode was that, of course, everything's going to be adorable and silly, and yet Oscar will be terrified the whole time. And actually, everyone was terrified, especially once the Toast Ghost came out. But they're such harmless ghosts that's what makes it so enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. That's the scariest dance I've ever seen.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, not Oliver. No, it's Alexa who says, "Yo, girl, that's the scariest dance." But yeah, no, Pajamas is getting eaten by the Toast Ghost and just is coming out the other side, and you're thinking, guys, calm down. These ghosts cannot hurt you. But, and what were they? In totality, we had some toothpaste ghosts. We had cocoa marshmallow ghosts, a toast ghost that was pushing the border, and luckily we didn't get the one that might have, cut all of their eyes with paper cuts.
Yeah, with the pencil sharpener hands. Oh, yeah, that one was scary. Give them paper cuts on the eyeballs. Yeah. Ooh, that's gonna sting.
Conceptually, that one would have been very bad. Luckily, Oscar was far away from the fire, which is apparently a force of magic life in this world that has not come back into relevance. This is definitely one of those, if it had been in Adventure Time, you would have seen it reappear in a couple of seasons. Fire, and the fact that you can put out fire is an important thing. But I don't think that's what's happening here. It is a very simple episode, though. I'm surprised by how simple it is. They're around a fire, ghosts start appearing, and that's kind of it. And then they go away.
Susie. Susie was the best in this episode. You dummies.
I love it when Susie just shows up for the last 5 seconds of an episode just to call everybody dumb and end it. But they should have thought of that.
I love her joke about coffee shirt.
Those have it, penny teas, is that the name? I feel like iCarly is where I first grew up seeing, t-shirts with just random quotes on them like that. So, may have been a simple episode, but we had a brand new character introduction, Madam Chair, who has loved the children for the entire time they were there.
Yep. Well, I mean, she works in a library, so you assume she's rather devoted to her job there. I mean, libraries are places they try to start them young on the books, so.
And Oscar's greatest insecurity is that someone's going to call out that he hasn't read enough books. I love that.
Man, I don't know. He seemed pretty scared about the paper cuts on his eyeballs.
Well, those are the consequence of not reading enough, children.
That's true. That's true. Now, I'm not sure whether or not the first time I watched this episode, I got the Madam Chair person joke or not. It sounds like the kind of thing that I could miss, but I definitely got it this time.
Wait, was there some pun within Madam Chair? Am I missing something?
Well, he called her Madam Chair person, but, Madam Chairperson is also what you would call
a chairperson. Yeah,
the lady who's the chair of a committee.
Interesting.
So see, the fact that you missed that means that I could easily have missed it before.
Yeah. That's fair. That's interesting. I missed that.
But your aim is getting better.
I have a very important detail from this episode that I noticed. Are you ready for my deep sleuthing?
Oh, I am ready for the important deets.
So Lucy, her story about marshmallow ghosts, she said she had to spice up her story by differentiating it right from hedgehog somehow. And so she said that there were 17 ghosts. There were 18! There were 18! Ooh. I paused it and 18 appeared. In fact, they drew 18. How could they have drawn one off? I was like, I'm gonna pause it just to see. Did they, that would have been fun. And, if they had drawn like 6 or if they had drawn 30, I wouldn't have thought about it. It would have been, okay, that's fine. But they drew 18. It's so close. This is my,
Oscar's just extra scared of him.
There you go. I don't know. I feel like I'm being messed with, and then I started thinking even more deeply about it. I was like, well, technically her story started with one ghost, so that's 1 plus then 17 more that were introduced later. So I think I want to believe it was all, there's a lot of intentional behind the scene work in animation. Really, everything you see on the screen is intentional. So, I mean, what? So anyway,
that explanation sounds just plausible enough. I say we go with it.
That is this top second bullet point I have in my notes. That is the second important thing I noticed in this episode. So there you go. The first one is that our precious boy has finally steeled himself against bumblebees. There was a point in his life.
Yes, I like that.
There was a point where he was afraid.
I can handle bumblebees now. But he still doesn't understand how flashlights work.
So freaking cute. I loved that. And Hedgehog is always such the best friend. No, Oscar, I'm looking out for your well-being. I'm not going to tell the story. I know how my costume scared you last year. Oh.
I like how everyone, you're talking about Lucy juicing the story up by adding some extra ghosts. I like how everyone just accepts, oh, no, this is totally different than what Hedgehog was doing because the number is different.
No, that's such a good, kids moment. Sometimes they try to remind you just how much these are, kids specifically, and that's a total kid thing.
Is that kids really, or is that them taking a subtle dig at the entertainment industry where, everything old must be recycled, but we'll file the serial numbers off in such an unconvincing way?
Yeah, it could be a biting satire as well. But, double entendre. It can serve both purposes. I like when all of the campers are together because it also gives us you get these group dynamics that brings a little bit out of all these characters interacting with each other. And also we get spotlights of characters I just never see or forget they exist. Oliver has dedicated screen time to, talk Oscar through a plan for overcoming his fear. And I just love how he's just deadpan receiving it. It's yeah, okay. But I mean, where's an episode dedicated to Oliver? I don't know. I feel like some of the campers are really sidelined, kind of some other witches that I know that really don't get enough episodes. I mean, I love Susie.
I mean, yeah, but I love Susie a lot. If they just made it the Susie show, I'd be like, okay.
I do feel like sometimes the other campers and witches get sidelined a little too hard, and I'm hoping that with the direction that it's all about the magic and, everyone on the camp is supposed to be, fulfilling their magical destinies. I hope that means that we get more out of them, because I really like seeing them all together, even when it's a simple premise, like telling stories around a campfire.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely a group activity. You can't just have Oscar and Hedgehog. I would be curious to see what kind of ghost stories Hedgehog would tell if Oscar was her only audience member.
No, she couldn't bring herself
and then watch him still get scared anyway.
But luckily, Oscar forgets that he has pajamas with him. And pajamas should always bring him comfort because she's so strong for him.
And she'll be eaten first. If we're going off of attractiveness, he's going to eat me first.
Yes, I love that.
However exactly she phrased it.
And then, Oscar couldn't have overcome his fear and, I don't even know if he really overcame his fear, but at least stopped the ghost without Pajama's intervention. Just, dragging herself forward on the ground, helping come up with the fantasy of the perfect ghost that takes your glasses off your face when you fall asleep.
Yeah, where did that come from?
I love that because I just never thought of that as a thing. I didn't grow up in a household with anyone with glasses, and it's such a quaint little idea. I love that.
Yep, gotta watch your head with glasses.
Right. You could accidentally swallow them at night or something. That's not a real thing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. There's But I do wonder, like, why is Pajamas worried about glasses? Who does she know who wears glasses?
I don't know.
I guess it's just gonna be one of those random things, like when Pajamas goes away on business that one episode.
Well, lots of people in business have glasses, so you never know.
Yeah. Business numbers.
I like that aliens consistently understand the essentials of good television more than any earthly television producer. Our alien this time was watching kangaroos punching and then kissing, and I mean that
violence and love.
Violence and love, extremes brought together.
People love those things. Why do you think Game of Thrones was so successful, guys?
Exactly. Boiling it down to the elements that, are the most entertaining. Yeah, I love the alien inclusion because it just is completely random.
Now that I think about Game of Thrones, I'm like, how much love is there really?
Well,
more lust than love, really.
Yeah. And how much love was there, really, for that show? So...
I mean, yeah, the alien's like, yeah, I got nothing better to do. I love the alien ex machina. Just, hey, I'm going to show up and explain this to you because you dummies couldn't figure this out.
Well, it also does serve a purpose of continuing to establish that the aliens sort of know what's going on inexplicably. I don't know why they're involved in this camp. I still don't get it.
Why would the aliens not understand? Why is it inexplicable that a magical creature who lives on a magical island would understand magic better than the muggles who are here for summer camp?
Because it doesn't make any sense why the aliens are here in the first place. I get that, at one point Susie was bringing them saltwater taffy, but I don't get how they, establish this connection. They're far away in space, and we still don't really understand if they're magic or not, because magic is only on Earth.
No, we know that they're magic because they're in the glowworm episode. There's a little chart that shows aliens are one of the magical creatures that get their magic from glowworms.
Whoa, that's a mind blower.
They're on I think the opposite side from witches, if I remember correctly, but they're on the chart. So, yeah, the aliens are magical creatures just like witches and yetis.
That's so strange.
Magic is retreated to one island, and yet they're peachy keen. Maybe the aliens were very, very different before the loss of magic, but the witches became completely non-magical, and the aliens seem to be
powered by
magical.
Sugar, and maybe more... but they don't commit magic acts. But then again, a lot of magical creatures don't. Monsters and yetis don't.
Yeah, the Sasquatch Monastery, what's magical about what they do? Nothing. They're just magical creatures.
Right, they just make magically delicious sandwiches. But, maybe anyone could, I don't know.
Kids are always after their peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
So, yep, there are magical aliens, possibly magical cereals and yogurts.
Oh, I would put money on there being magical cereals. Magical yogurts, I don't know if they could get a merchandising deal for magical yogurt.
There's been talking food in this show, but I don't know if there's been talking food that's gotten eaten in this show. Has that happened?
I feel like we've seen that.
It's very disturbing. The nature of consciousness on this island is disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we just need Susie-O's. Susie needs her own brand of breakfast cereal with pink marshmallows.
Yes, with a unibrow on them somehow, somewhere.
Yeah, we can have the weedy part be shaped like cat ears, so just a simple triangle, and then the pink marshmallows can be in the shape of her hair.
Yeah, and then you could do chocolate, just little line pieces. Those could be the unibrows floating in. That's the hearty part of the cereal. No, only marshmallows.
Yeah, only marshmallows. Save the chocolate for the Alisos.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I'm just saying, Toast Ghost is pretty terrifying. When you're as handsome as I, you must be fearful of such things.
The specificity of Oscar's delirious fears was fantastic. That the toast had to be the most handsome person in the room, which is that's a type of person to fear, I suppose. I like that Hedgehog again met Oscar on his level while he was frozen in fear and got a blanket out of the tent.
Yeah, she had to toss the blanket over. Yep.
Yeah, just to talk to him. It's a good strat.
And then she ended up having to carry him anyway. Yeah, try to isolate him from all the. So he's focusing only on one thing. Unfortunately, he Couldn't focus for long. Tunnel of Fear.
Oh man, that Well of Fear was quite a scene.
Oh,
I'd almost felt like learning about Finn's vault. Like, there's this dark place within Oscar that maybe really exists in his brain where he can pull out the most horrifying things. Like, they just spent the way they animated it, like going into the Well of Fear. It almost felt like, because of just how, like, I don't know, animated it was, and just, I don't know, extra produced, like extra frames, and we kind of like come at it from one perspective and then zoom down into it, like turning a 45-degree angle. It made me think, okay, well, if it's not actually something like that where it's the vault for Finn, it at least is giving you the experience of what it's like to be completely trapped in anxiety, and you know, you're just diving farther into this inescapable hole where all these dark things live. So, you know, there's a little bit of illustration, I think, happening in the episode, even though Oscar's fears mostly played for laughs. Like, it's not necessarily, because Hedgehog takes it seriously, and because, you know, we work through it and have supporting friends.
Yeah, everyone on Summer Camp Island is just generally very supportive, and that's what I love about the show. I mean, yeah, sure, they all laugh at Oscar about how he blinds himself with a flashlight and whatnot, but, you know, at the end of the day, they're not going to push too hard on him. Not even Lucy.
So yeah, I hope Madam Chair comes back. The ghosts are...
Yeah, she might have broken her spine.
Well, it was also a weird joke, because books have spines, but chairs don't. And I just feel like a talking book saying that line would have made more sense. When it was her as a chair, it sounded brutal. She's like, ow, my spine. And I'm just like, she has two of them. She's got two metal rods connecting her. This is terrible. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, Madam Chair could come back. Ghosts can't come back. Maybe Fire can come back. Susie's coming back. I don't know if Oliver's ever going to get more lines again.
Are you lobbying for the Well of Fear to return?
I think it's an interesting concept. I don't know. They just played it up so much visually. But I don't really want Oscar to be caught in fear anymore. So no, I don't want that to be a thing anymore. But I could see that, you know, they've introduced it. If you need some season finale type material of Oscar, you know, losing himself because maybe he's been away from friends or something, or some dark force is trying to overtake him, yeah, you could bring back the Well of Fear.
I think it would probably be safer just to bring back the Bumblebee costume.
Much more in Summer Camp Island style. But he can handle it now. Come on.
Yeah, as long as everyone else can. Anyway, guys, that's been us on the Haunted Campfire. Join us next week. Until then, I'm GC13.
And I'm David. Don't forget to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Later, everybody. Our opening and closing music is by Mark Soto. For more cartoon-related content, please visit lunarseaspire.com.